SBN Sports Business Now.
Hello and welcome to Sports Business Now Live. I'm your host, Holly Koski, and Sports Business Now Live is a weekly wrap-up show discussing all of the hottest topics on sportsbusinessnow.com. And join us today on Twitter using the hashtag SBNow. And as always, I would like to welcome Jason Cole and Jonathan Dusing. How you doing, guys?
Hey.
Doing okay.
Good.
Founders of Row 27 and SBN. So we are on episode 5.
Yes.
5 weeks in a row.
5 weeks in a row.
You know, there's like a milestone or something.
What a crazy
we'll
thought.
go with that.
I think I've been growing this goatee almost that entire time.
Yeah, I don't know about any of the other guys out there, but I think Movember is about to come to a stop.
For Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Gotta look fresh and clean.
I know. I think this is where the rubber hits the road. You know, if you're gonna like not shave it for Thanksgiving and have mom and everybody else like give you a hard time about it.
Yeah.
So I see Jason's already pushed out.
It's for a good
I
cause,
haven't.
though.
I mean, you're supposed to just do a mustache according to the rules.
Okay.
So you're the one pussing out doing the full beard.
Yeah, I'm pushing.
I think we should just call you red beard.
It's
Red
not that
beard.
red, is it? Yeah, I don't know. All right.
Looks good in other
Clearly,
lights.
I can't relate to this conversation.
No.
But a lot has happened over the weekend, even though, our show's on
Busy
Tuesday
weekend.
because of, the holiday this weekend.
We've still got a full week of stuff to talk about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Most notably, the Big Ten and new additions, Maryland and Rutgers.
Yes.
Which could be absolutely huge for, oh, hey, Ranger, underneath there. Could be absolutely huge, $200 million possibility in subscription fees.
Yep.
Due to, the Maryland markets of Washington, D.C., Baltimore, and
Extorted.
Yeah, it'll be
New York.
really
Subscription
interesting to
fees.
see how Fox Sports leverages their stake in the Big Ten network, trying to get them carried in New York and New Jersey, just cable markets. I imagine Jersey will be pretty easier, but hitting New York that's where the money's at.
Yeah, it's going to be some interesting negotiations. I'm sure there'll be, some you can't see your team for, a couple of months
And
or
people will be like,
couple of weeks.
Rutgers?
Yeah,
Really?
like the Big Ten always is having problems up here and
up in the New York area, you mean?
No, I meant just here.
Oh, okay.
Like with DirecTV and some of the local things. I know in Iowa there was a couple of cable companies in Iowa that kept dropping Iowa.
Yeah, they
the Big
dropped
Ten
it, but I mean,
network.
they're
Usually
on
takes a couple of weeks.
They're on basic cable everywhere now. I mean, it took I think 2 years before they had it in every
I know,
spot,
but every once in a while they renegotiate or something, and there's always an issue.
Yeah.
So
The Pac-12 has had major issues with
it's a lot of
DirecTV.
money, so they
But
can't just like.
they just started. I mean, it takes time. It's
absolutely.
$1.25 a month right now is what it works out to.
Well, the thing
per
is,
person of cable.
yeah, that's a lot. And all of a sudden, everybody in New York really wants to watch Maryland play all the time.
Rutgers.
Or Rutgers, yeah, that's same
University
thing.
of New Jersey.
I know, but it's a big city, so it's like,
Yeah.
Not a lot of people care about
every
Rutgers,
single
though.
cable supplier.
Hey,
person's
I
gonna-
don't know. I think this long term,
Of course, but
huge.
It's gonna
for
be
Rutgers
interesting,
and Maryland.
The
thing that really stuck out to me on this, and I know a lot of people have picked up on it now, but it wasn't Darren Rovell, but it was like his replacement, who writes occasionally at CNBC, wrote an article last week about Kevin Plank filing an FEC filing for saying he was going to sell $65.4 million in stock.
Yeah.
Which, if you look at the cap gains
Cover
rates
the
in
exit
Maryland
fees.
and cap gains tax in the states, would leave him like $50.2 million in cash.
which is enough to take care of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I heard somewhere again on Twitter, I forget
crazy.
the source, but they're saying, "Oh, Kevin Plank is just looking to diversify his
Diversify his portfolio into the Big Ten.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
I think Maryland's going to give him a good interest rate too, because basically he's probably just fronting this money for however many years it takes for them to start getting money out of the Big Ten deal.
Or if they're able to negotiate it down. I mean, there's definitely going to be a legal challenge to that $50 million.
Yeah. I bet
in
they
fact,
end
less
up
than
like
a year.
half that or something.
Yeah, so I think it was 15, 20 previously.
It's only been in effect for
less than a year,
maybe 6 months.
since
That deal
since
went
Notre
down.
Dame. Since Notre Dame,
That was
went
not
in.
very long
No,
ago.
it wasn't.
No.
Yeah.
And
Which makes you wonder why they couldn't do this deal before that happened.
right.
But, yeah.
I mean, like you said, with Fox, that's kind of a leverage point for the Big Ten network, just because Fox and News Corp, they're trying to purchase the Yes Network. So that could help them kind of, strong arm into the New York market as well.
Strong arm, I think, is definitely the word.
Like, do you want to watch
When
the
you're
Yankees?
trying to
Do you
make
wanna watch the
$25
Yankees?
million a city of 25 million have the thing so that Rutgers.
It's
can
only
be
like
on TV.
15 million people have cable.
Okay, still,
It's only like
I'm sure they're all huge Rutgers fans.
yeah. Well,
So,
but if you want to watch the Yankees,
but this is the way it goes,
Yeah.
though. You know, it's all about getting.
I'm
your own cable
excited.
network
I mean, it's going to be exciting to see how that all plays out. I think it's definitely a ballsy move.
yeah, it
It's
really puts
bold.
the Big East in a horrible place.
Horrible place.
Horrible,
Yeah.
yes.
It'll be interesting to see if the ACC holds on to everyone that's left
Yeah.
at this point in time. I mean, they're pulling UConn in most likely, and then
Yeah,
does everyone else stay? Does Florida State jump too, since they voted against the 50 million? Who knows?
I don't know.
I mean, Florida State would be a natural in the Pac-12, right? Or the Big 12, just because it's now the Big 12 is.
Pac-12, not so much.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Who is it? Boise State is now with the Big East or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
totally. They're not regional anymore. They're
They
totally
should probably stop
continental.
saying like East and
Right.
West and,
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Well, they
was
should
an
also
ironic
stop saying
point.
10. When now you're 14, 16, whatever.
Gonna be
14.
14.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
14. So
I'm surprised that I think Rutgers is the biggest winner in terms of which
Huge.
athletic department here.
probably. Yeah.
I think
Although
Maryland.
Maryland's going to luck out pretty good here. They've been hurting financially for a really long time.
Right.
And
Just the sports side, though.
Not to mention the sports they just canned that they're going to be able to bring back.
And the thing is, the Maryland's like, I mean, it's on the border of D.C.
Right.
It's where the university and their football stadium is. And having lived in D.C., I mean, that's a city where you have a ton of people from around the country that live there.
Yeah, from Big Ten
And
schools.
Yeah.
From Big Ten schools, from
Yeah.
other places. So when you have like
They'll
Michigan
have-
coming
those
in
will
there,
be
that's
much
going to
more
be
popular
a
games, yeah.
sold out football game.
Uh-huh.
It'll help them a lot on their gate.
Yeah, it'll be interesting seeing like Rutgers football go into the Big House or other.
Hey, they're solid this year. I mean,
Rutgers
really solid.
football,
They've been
yes.
solid for a little. I mean, they've been pretty good for a little while. So
Yeah.
definitely entertaining to watch. So
I think, from a business move, it makes sense, but just from a sports
Yeah.
side, maybe not so much. I think Syracuse might have been a better fit for the Big Ten as far as athletically, but, that remains to be seen. All right. I guess I'm the minority on that one.
Well, I
Yeah.
think the bigger issue there is are the CIC, or not the CIC, but the Big Ten schools, like their academic arm, unlike ACC and everyone
Yeah.
else, people talk about the rankings, but they share credit. They have credit reciprocity between schools. They have
Yep.
all the research libraries online together. So if you're going to Nebraska, you can be pulling papers and documents that were at Penn State. I mean, it's really, really slick what they have in place on there. But
yeah, that too.
so my point is, I don't think and I'm completely speaking out of turn here, but if I'm not mistaken, I think Maryland and Rutgers as research universities are ranked higher than Syracuse.
All right.
Just a
Yeah,
guess.
I personally
Sure.
don't know. Again, I'm just looking from a sports side, but you're probably right on the academic
Well,
side
that and the Buffalo TV market probably doesn't pull the same weight.
in basketball.
Is that Canada?
Is that Canada?
What sport? Is that ball orange when they play? Or
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
And then I guess, moving on to Major League Baseball now. Milwaukee Brewers,
Milwaukee?
they're wanting their fans to design some new uniforms for spring training.
Yeah.
Which it's a really cool idea. It's called Design a Uniform. Get it? Very funny.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
I see what you did there. And it's cool because, the fan can design some new threads for the team, and they'll actually wear it for a game in spring training on March 22nd against the Cubs. And if you win, if you have the winning design, you'll get, a round-trip airfare, 2 tickets to the game, and, a souvenir, I guess, replica, or not replica, you can, if you want like Ryan Braun's jersey, you can like take it as a souvenir, I guess. And it will, they'll print 10 t-shirts and hats with your design.
Neat.
So it's like a really,
It's kind of cool, and they're backing it up.
yeah, I mean, it's sponsored by, Majestic, Milwaukee Journal, Sentinel,
okay.
and the New Era Cap Company. So they have some major backing behind it, but
How do you think how are they deciding the winner?
they have a couple panelists from like the Brewers front office, and then it's decided on a fan vote, which will be done online, which will be kind of cool. And also one of the pitchers, the current pitchers, he will be on the selection committee as well. So it's not just the front office, deciding what they like best. But, as you can see here, there's a couple really cool designs.
Pull up that mustache one. It's hilarious.
I'm past it now, but
I'm past it now.
There's some good ones.
There's some with
This one's perfect.
Player. That's great.
That's swag right there. I don't know about you. There's some that had, the beer barley on it, which was kind of cool. Or
It's got bubbles.
that one has bubbles.
That's funny.
Although it looks like cheese.
Or that too. Yeah, that might be
Cheese?
good.
Yeah, they're like indented. I don't know if they were really going for cheese.
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah. So, I mean, it, allows fans to really be creative and with an awesome prize attached to it. It'd be kind of cool to see your design actually on the field.
I might enter this contest. This looks like it's entirely too much fun. I was just wondering about how they were picking the winner, because it would be really cool to see, since they're doing fan voting, if something like that Pitbull thing happens when Walmart was like, concert in your town, and then fan voting online on Reddit like pushed the guy to Nome, Alaska.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? It was Pitbull.
Pitbull.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah,
I haven't
hilarious.
heard that.
They
That's
started
funny.
this campaign online. It was like for Walmart or something. And
Most like
he would
growth
go to,
of
he
your
would go to
local
any
Walmart
Walmart,
store.
all right? And so then like these people like started this campaign online, and they ended up sending him to a Walmart in Alaska. And he actually went and was nice about it. But the same people
I'm sure
also
he's still getting
started
paid either way.
Yeah.
the same,
Yeah.
Who's the Oh God, I sound like 40. I just forgot her name. I'm not actually unhip, but the country star
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. Thank you.
Wow, okay.
I'm sorry. It's the beard. I feel like 50 right now. All right. But anyways, the same group of people, she was going to play at a high school, and the same group put together voting for a school for the deaf in Ohio.
Oh,
And last I heard it was winning, but I don't know what actually happened with that contest.
wow.
They thought they would most appreciate Taylor Swift.
That's so politically incorrect.
Yeah. So online voting is really fun.
That's great. So yeah, that's the reason I was wondering about how people were being chosen, because I could see like a unique uniform design possibly
Yeah.
being voted by fans.
And, I was thinking that when I first saw this, it was a minor league team that, decided to run this contest because, minor
This
league.
does seem
Yeah.
more like that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think a lot of minor league teams could easily do that if they have a sponsor, attached with it. And,
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
even just make T-shirts would be cool. So while this might not catch hold in the MLB, even though I think it's a great promotion, I think it'd be easy to do in minor leagues as well. So,
Yeah.
There's some cool stuff.
Cool.
yeah, and then so. Are you guys Black Friday shoppers? Moving on to more festive.
I am.
You all right there?
Cyber Monday.
Jason's
You're
dying.
a Cyber Monday
He will
guy?
not be
Yeah.
dead by, or will not be
I
alive
might be.
by Friday.
I might be.
Johnny,
dead by
you
Friday.
camping out? Too?
No, I'm totally Cyber Monday guy.
Okay.
More like Cyber the Monday before Christmas.
Black Friday. Black Friday to me is kind of like the Hunger Games for capitalism. I'm
Totally
not,
is. That's a wonderful example.
Nice.
Especially with the Walmart stampedes,
Yeah.
and reminds me of
Like
that
people
scene,
are
like
physically
going to the
going to be.
cornucopia.
People at like 4 a.m. the day after Thanksgiving are actually going to die trying to buy something. It blows my mind.
Yeah, well, hopefully
couple.
Oakley is not hoping that doesn't happen to them.
I don't think
good.
that'll happen to them. I mean, I don't see people like
So what's Oakley doing?
like over sunglasses.
Well, Oakley
We
is
can get this train right back on track here.
Oakley is actually offering signed merchandise of some Oakley athletes like, Tony Stewart, Rory McIlroy, Kerry Walsh
Armstrong.
Jennings, not Lance
I know,
Armstrong,
I'm just kidding.
Miguel Cabrera. So actually, like signed merchandise to people who spend over $250, which it's not hard to do at Oakley.
Like offering, like as in, oh, you spent $250. Here's this.
Right.
Or wow, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. And obviously,
Well, supplies last.
exactly.
Yeah.
So there's like 3 per store. No.
And there may as well be 3 per store. But, it's just kind of another innovative, Black Friday thing. And you guys see this really taking off in sports as far as retailers or teams offering tickets, Black Friday deals.
We've worked with a bunch of teams to do auction sites and to try to make them more like a store and more friendly and not like so much around like, an event or fundraiser. And there's been some good success there. A little bit with signatures, but it's mostly just game-worn merchandise and
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And I know I was actually just talking with Craig Pittons over at Oregon, and they're doing a Cyber Monday deal
nice.
of game-worn merchandise. So
Very cool.
like 10 of the black helmets and all the really cool stuff like
Right.
Oregon has all the time. They're pushing through about 300 items next Monday. So, I think there's a good opportunity here. I think in general, teams don't usually seem to be taking advantage of Cyber Monday and Black Friday as
Agreed.
much
Yeah.
as maybe they should.
Agreed.
So it's definitely an opportunity for any team. But especially on the merchandise side of things, I think
Right.
you'll see like some ticket packages and stuff. Like the NBA will usually do some stuff since they're really in the heart of it there. But there's a lot of opportunity there for game worn signature items.
Agreed. I thought it was just kind of cool that they kind of opened it up to their whole staff of Oakley stores and athletes. So it's not just like for not really known athletes that, hey, you'll get a poster that has someone's autograph on it, like a snowboard or something like that. So very cool on Oakley's part to actually publicize that. So all right, moving on to more of the digital realm. The New York Knicks today, this week.
Sorry.
The New York Knicks, they bought the domain name Nets.com, which is
Nets.com.
which is actually kind of
Awesome.
creative, and it brings you to the Knicks All-Star ballot, like splash page, encouraging Knicks, or I guess Nets fans that were hoping to get to the Nets page to vote for a Knicks player. So is this good marketing or just a waste of money?
I believe it might be a dick move, but it works.
I think it's so clever.
It is. It's got to be against some kind of bro code, though. But it's been sitting there for a while, right? The Nets just weren't willing to pay for it, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Taco Corp had to go to the highest bidder.
You have to give some context there.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I have no idea what
You
that
have
means.
no idea. If any of you out there watch the league, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, I don't think has the team done this before. It's squatted on a competitor's.
Not that I know of.
Are they gonna be able to keep it legally? It's a trademark. How
Well,
long is this
so
gonna last?
all NBA websites, they're under the NBA domain.
Yes.
So it's nba.com/
Yep.
Nets or what
It's
have
just
you.
a redirect right now. So
Right.
we're
It's
using
just
it
I don't.
But even the Suns. I mean, the Suns are Suns.com, and then it
for redirect.
forwards. Yeah.
Nets, I mean, I imagine you're going to violate ICANN policy. I mean, we know that because you're going to another basketball team that's related to that trademark.
Is that why we know that?
That's why we might know that.
I
But
feel like maybe we borrowed somebody else's trademark once.
whatever.
Well, all I can say is yes, the Nets can get this domain name back easily. So
Yeah.
They
and
do
now
own
won't pay for it.
BrooklynNets.com though.
Oh, I know, but they also as long as they own the
haven't put
trademark
rights.
of
Like
Nets,
if
they're
you
done.
bought
It's a done deal.
Nets.com and we're like selling fishing nets
Right.
or Nets fundraiser,
They're selling
Nets
a
don't have a
competitor's
product, but you're
product.
selling a NBA team.
You don't even have to go to court. Just ICANN,
Yeah.
the group that runs domain names,
Yeah.
like
National
because of the
Arbitration
trademark,
Board.
they'll
That thing
have
will
no
be done.
chance.
That thing will be done in like 7 days.
Yeah,
Though
and the
I'm
Nets will get
sure-
the domain name for free,
which I'm sure
plus,
they're
minus lower
Don't
lower
know.
fees, because they even if the Knicks paid $200,000 for it, how much did they pay for it?
You were talking about the Dallas Cowboys who.
Yeah,
once upon a
so
time-
Darren Heitner actually wrote a piece on
Sorry.
on Forbes in October, kind of talking about this whole issue because this was around in October. I guess the Knicks had ownership since then, but the Dallas Cowboys had an opportunity to buy Cowboys.com. And this is, Dallas Cowboys, America's team, right? For $275,000, and they didn't want to pay for it. So, it's kind of a similar situation where
It's like a cowboy
And
dating website.
Cowboys.com
No,
is
it's,
not anything sports related. So,
Not sports related.
What are they actually at though? DallasCowboys.com.
Yeah.
yeah. And so, Heitner was saying in here that Nets.com could be worth at least $250,000. So,
Yeah, maybe. It's tough though. The thing with sports teams is they've been around for a while before the web and
so they
after
have
the web.
equity. Like, you're
and
gonna-
people are gonna find the Dallas Cowboys website. Like it's not gonna be very hard,
Yep.
And what do they actually miss out by not being Cowboys.com? What kind of traffic? Who knows? Probably infinitesimal. At least with the people they want to find them.
Definitely nothing on search traffic. I mean, it has to be direct type.
Search is not a problem. Yeah.
So, probably not a ton of direct type traffic.
This reminds me a little bit of Nissan. Nissan.com is owned by this guy with the last name Nissan.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and he got it forever ago, and he was it's interesting. If you go to Nissan.com, you can see he'll tell you the whole story, but he's been fighting them like legally for like 10, 15 years or something. But it's his last name, so it's like they have nothing to go on. So they've always been Nissan USA or whatever. It's kind of an interesting thing.
Yeah.
But in this case, the Nets have the trademark on the Nets, and you've got another NBA basketball team on the webpage impersonating them in a way, technically.
Right.
And there's
hopefully they don't pay a ton of money for it, but it's hilarious.
It's not gonna work long term.
I think the Knicks were just a little, the Nets have stolen their thunder this season with the Barclays Center and just the whole rebrand.
This is true, yeah.
Trying to get back into the front of mind, at least in our industry.
Yeah, I appreciate it. As long as they didn't spend like $100,000 for it, more power to you.
Right.
Or if they planned on not having the $100,000 for that long. One of the two.
Sure.
Something.
Yeah.
All right.
And then, continuing on with NBA of sorts and social media, digital realm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my boy Cubes.
Your boy Cubes. The Facebook and Mark Cuban saga continues.
Yeah.
And Mark Cuban actually wrote a blog post. Blogmaverick.com is his blog.
Yes.
I love that picture of him.
It's you picked that one out. It's so you're like, come at me, bro. That's what he's saying to Facebook right now.
Come at me, bro. That should be a good meme or whatever.
It actually is a meme. That's why he said it.
Oh, that photo I think is what she's talking about.
All right.
Yes. And so Facebook came out because there's been a lot of back and forth. But if you guys remember, about the promoted posts feature, as far as
let me just sum it up maybe.
Go for
so
it.
Cuban's kind of the first one to draw people's attention to this, and then we've had a bunch of stories about it since then. But basically, now that Facebook lets you buy or pay for your post to actually show up on your fans' walls or your friends' walls, right? Mm-hmm. And Cuban pointed this out. It was like $3,000-$4,000 for one post to be able to be seen by these people. Well, since they started selling that product, they've systematically removed just the organic impressions that your posts get. Mm-hmm. So when you post something,
removed is a strong word. Reduced.
No, we're talking 40% for large brands. Like that's all of a sudden in like 2 months, 40%. You have 40% reach or 40% less reach of your posts. So what happened recently is Facebook came out and tried to explain what they're doing and why they're doing it. It just kind of looks a little shady because they're on one hand charging to fix the problem for you,
right?
And on the other hand, creating a problem. So basically, they're trying to explain that what shows up on your wall, your fans' walls, your post might not make it there based upon how many other people liked it or didn't like it, or reported it, if they've clicked on it, how many times they've gone to their Facebook page that day, a million different combinations of things. Interestingly enough, I think some of the reasons, like not to show it to some random person because other random people, didn't like it, I think is kind of weird because this person didn't say that he wouldn't like it. You know what I mean? Like, so they're kind of going out of their way to kind of remove brands' posts from your Facebook feed. And it just looks shady as hell because they're also charging you a lot of money to fix that problem.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, then it's focusing people on finding ways to get people who do see your content to like it, to share it, to comment and engage with it. Because once you sort of begin passing that area where like this piece of content's getting half a percentage of people interacting with it, where this piece of content's getting 2%,
then it's going to start showing up organically.
Like
You can fix it.
You can fix it, but you have to actually have an engaged audience to avoid that problem.
So which I think sounds okay. It's just that it was never like that.
It was never like that. But if you look at some of the really, really large brands like Starbucks, I have no desire to see stuff from Starbucks in my newsfeed every day.
Well, then don't
I'm not
like
going to interact with it. But I like
That's
Starbucks.
The argument.
So like the major brands that are complaining about this with a 40% drop off of that are experiencing that problem because they have this vast quantity of people who've liked their page through some sort of promotion over the years who don't care about the caramel macchiato or whatever that's the special of the week.
Well, shouldn't that onus be on the person? If I see brands, whenever it's happened, I see posts, from a brand that I randomly liked. I'll follow I'll like How I Met Your Mother, and then a week later I'll be like, okay, that was fun, and, and then I'll hide it.
Yeah, I don't think you're normal. Because you preen your Facebook stuff very, very
I know,
diligently.
But a lot of people, the tools have always been there. It's very easy to hover over the thing and say hide all from this thing.
Cuban actually argues that it's, to your point, that people don't do that. People don't maintain their Facebook page, as diligently.
Yeah.
And that it's hard for people to unfriend or unlike something.
I guess the
then
second part of my
arguing
point
for Facebook, because Facebook is saying, they don't, so we need to do it for them.
Yeah.
The end result, though, is because they do it for them, the brands suffer way more than your friends and your aunt.
Right.
It'll be unique to me if the Facebook's using this sort of like a exponential thing, or if it's on each piece of content being judged separately.
Oh, it's
You know what I
definitely
mean?
each piece of content.
As far as
so
it
each
rank
piece of
the
content, it's not really a
algorithm?
problem.
And one of the biggest things too is how many times you go check your Facebook feed. Facebook's argument is there's so much stuff happening on Facebook now. People are following so many things, whatever, that if you only check your feed once every day or every other day, they have to edit out tons of stuff to make sure that you see the best. They want to show you the best since the last time you were here. So, but when you've got things like I follow a particular team. Mm-hmm. Well, if none of my friends follow that team, then
you're not gonna see it.
Then I'm not going to see the content because they're not going to. Facebook doesn't think it's important because my friends don't like it.
Right.
Well, screw my friends if I like that team.
Yep.
It's just there's a lot of things that don't really work in real life.
Yeah, and that's Cuban's
and then
argument.
at the end of the day, Cuban's beef is now he's supposed to budget $1 million a year to pay to get these posts out to his people. I think it's kind of double charging because most teams and brands have spent real cash money getting those people, getting those likes in the first place, whether it be on Facebook ads or offline or online in other mediums. And so now they paid all that money to get those people in the door, which is what they're used to. They get them in their system. They get their email address, right? And then now it's like Facebook's just randomly going through their database and unsubscribing their people.
Yeah.
That didn't ask to be unsubscribed. These fans didn't say I want less. They, it just happened. So.
And yeah, I totally agree with you, John. There, my whole thing is what makes an algorithm while it's supposed to be, perfect and figuring out your likes and your preferences. How do you know what I'm feeling that day? Hey, I might just want to be really engaged with some brands, or hey, I just want to look at Friends today, so it's kind of a catch.
Heaven forbid you just try to do some research. I follow some brands just to see what people do.
Right.
And now I barely see their stuff anymore.
I have no problem with what Facebook's doing personally. No problem.
All right.
Because if you have a smaller, more concentrated audience and you're like a mom and pop shop, the 150 people that follow you on Facebook are probably more engaged with you. You're not going to experience the same process of a major level consumer brand.
Well, we don't really have the data to know that if it's affecting a mom and pop shop just as much, then it's affecting them even more.
I highly doubt it because I think we would hear people doing that. I know Cuban has the biggest megaphone.
Well, we're
but
really
he also
looking at
is
the
a
very
major
beginning
brand.
of this. Cuban's some of the first people to watch it. The other story that I think we referenced with some of the charts and stuff that backs up the 40%. That's research done over the last 30, 60 days. So I think when we look back in 6 months, this could be really rough for brands on Facebook, at least on the free, the free thing. But like I said, these likes that they have, they weren't free. Everybody spent money to get these likes.
Whether
so,
that be manpower or promotions.
Yeah, the biggest thing is Facebook is created this thing, but they still need everyone to be seeing value in it and pushing content in there. Because if brands aren't pushing content in there,
well, then what if we all transition to every major brand paying for a post a day, and then your feed is back to being shitty again too?
I don't think Facebook would have a problem with that.
I know Facebook would not have a problem with that, but next thing you know, we're MySpace. So,
ouch, that's a harsh dagger.
Slam. Anyways, I can't wait for the new MySpace to launch because I'm tired of this. I wish my friends would just go to Google Plus or Path and we could just call it a day.
Yeah, that won't happen.
But Facebook is just only at 30.
Yeah,
people, right?
30 million?
No, you can only have 30 friends.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it kind of forces you to keep that network trim.
Tight.
Yeah.
Get it right. All right.
Well, that was a good dropping the gloves. I know it wasn't officially a dropping the gloves segment, but
Do you really disagree? Like, are you that retarded?
I think Facebook has to do something. I mean, they're not making a ton of money, and
Well,
what they're doing
we don't
here
work
makes
for
sense.
Facebook.
We have
work for teams.
exponentially more content being shared per person. To their point, you have this growth rate where you're doubling the amount of content being fed to connections through their system year over year over year. That Zuckerberg tried to say it's Zuck's law or whatever at the last FA concert. We'll see what it is this next year. But I mean, if you really are experiencing
and they think they need to sort that. Yeah.
I mean, you
don't
can't have
300 people.
everything.
I mean,
well, that's easy enough. But
Yeah.
people are going to be lazy.
Yeah.
Not
Well, what this is
premium.
going to grow is if you want to get organic posts out there without having to pay for it, now you gotta put in a little campaign to make sure that the posts you do put get liked and shared and are popular with the people that you have, so that they make it through the system.
a little more work for the teams.
I think that's probably what this is going to mean, because it doesn't mean the teams are going to fork up $3,000 a post.
Not at all.
Ain't happening.
Not at all.
So, all right.
Well, that was a very spirited debate.
And
And
same.
if you have any, opinions on this issue, please let us know. And, we'll talk about it and, talk about it on next week's show. And so, but thank you, John and Jason, as always,
No
for,
problem. And we'll be back at our
Help me
normal
out with
time
the
next
show.
week, right?
Yep, regular time next week.
Thursday?
3 p.m. So, and thank you for joining in. Like I said, if you have any comments on whatever we talked about today, just let us know on Twitter at SBNow, or you can use the hashtag SBNow as well. And the YouTube channel is always being updated with all of our videos, which, again, Sports Business Now, pretty easy to find us. And sportsbusinessnow.com, another resource for you guys out there. And we wish you a happy Thanksgiving, and we will see you next week.
SBN Sports Business Now.